The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. My name is Anthony Alford. It's great to have you with us here on this Monday here on the Inside Edge Network. And we are all over the socials at Inside Edge Net, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Like, follow us, and most importantly, subscribe to our pages right now. Ton of great content all throughout the week. Got some exciting announcements coming up in these next few days. Actually, if we want to do a quick programming announcement, stay tuned to Inside Edge Primetime, 10 o'clock tomorrow with Eli and Chad. Major programming announcement here at the Inside Edge Network. But we got to get right down to business. Of course, the Cavs and Raptors, they are tied at 2 apiece. Yesterday set basketball back by 3,000 years. It was an ugly game, but the Raptors won, shooting 4 of 30 from three-point land. They won yesterday, despite the fact that in game 4 on Sunday, the Cavaliers had a lead with a 5-point lead with only 2 minutes to go in regulation. They lost the lead, lost the game, critical turnovers. And I know most of us didn't watch Game 3 live because it happened during the same time as the NFL draft, but pretty much the same story, where the first half was pretty close, ugly, but pretty close. Third quarter was a little iffy, but it was attainable, it was manageable. And then the Cavaliers could not hold on to a lead in the fourth quarter. They were bullied. Any way you can describe things happened. But the thing that was most stunning, as this series is now tied at 2-2, typically when you're on the road, the way the playoffs go, your bench players, the roster's not necessarily that deep on the road as it is at home. The home crowd, it lets you in and gets you going. But typically, the superstars have to show up on the road. I can go many different ways. I can break down many different ways how Evan Mobley didn't show up. Jared Allen was basically a no-show. And James Harden doing James Harden things. But today, the conversation that matters most is Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell, 6 of 24, critical turnovers. He's been garbage. He was garbage in Canada. And the most stunning thing with Donovan Mitchell, I'm seeing traits of Donovan that he's not doing a good job of elevating his own game. He really isn't. Let's go back and play Donovan Mitchell post game following Game 4. What he had to say about his performance.
The games 3 and 4, like, you had some tough night shooting. How much of that is the ball not going in, and how much?
Yeah, I mean, I got some open looks tonight, and they just didn't fall. Same ones I've hit games 1 and 2, right? So can't rely on makes and misses to dictate everything else. And like I said, our defense was huge, trying to get on the boards, trying to make the right play. Yeah, do I wish I made more shots for sure, but didn't really feel like I forced a bunch. Maybe a few. Obviously, you always have a few you want to take back, but and as a whole, just understanding, hey, sometimes the shot's not going to go, but what is everything else like? And that's kind of where my focus is. Obviously, I watched the film, and maybe my answer might change when you watch the plays over again. But initially, there were some open looks that just missed, open floaters. Like, what I'm saying? It happens. But we were still in a position to win, and we didn't, and they protected home court. Now we got to do the same thing.
He says all the right things. He doesn't listen to himself. Can't rely on makes and misses. What is everything else like? I'm quoting Donovan Mitchell. With Donovan Mitchell, man, I have to admit, we put out great content on this network. Sometimes people say something on this network, and when they say it, it just hits you like a bullet, and it just stays with you. And it's just like, oh my goodness, I see things clearly. Autumn, on our post-game show, Autumn Chisholm, on our Inside Edge post-game show on Sunday, made a point that I thought was brilliant. She said that Donovan Mitchell, when he's not able to make shots, and he has done this for the last 4 years here in Cleveland, he did this in Utah. When he's not able to make shots, he overcompensates himself to try to force his way to try to make shots. So a ton of one-on-one action, a ton of plays that just flat out doesn't make any sense. Ball movement goes away. Donovan Mitchell basically has resorted to attempting to make circus-level shots just for him to get going instead of the offense. Like, what other ways can he contribute? He ain't contributing. He ain't doing the things that needs to be done to contribute when he's struggling from the field. Donovan Mitchell is one of the key reasons why we lost Game 4 and Game 3. And I know it's easy to blame other players. I know it's easy to look at James Harden not coming through in the postseason, because that's true. It's easy to look at Jared Allen and say, where are you in the playoffs? Are you ever going to show up in ever? Are you ever going to show up in the playoffs? So far, the answer is no. That's true. Or you go look at Evan Mobley and say, man, you're a defensive player of the year candidate. You're going to finally man up and, I don't know, beef up a little bit and actually defend and actually, make your presence felt. The answer has been no. But all of that is true, and we'll talk about the consequences of those three players coming up in the next segment. But Donovan Mitchell was traded here because the assumption was Donovan Mitchell, as the guy, the A guy, the number one guy, could lead a team to an NBA Finals, to a championship. I don't feel confident they could beat Toronto. And the way things are looking, you feel good about the Cavs beating Orlando in the next round? Orlando beating up Detroit right now with their bigs? And now you got our backcourt resorting to one-on-one situations? This series, if it does not turn out well, if the Cavaliers are knocked out in this series in round one, It is a legacy killer for Donovan Mitchell. End of story. It is a legacy killer. The days of looking at Donovan Mitchell as a guy to lead a team to a championship is toast. Done. Put a fork in it. It ain't happening. We now have a 4-year sample size here in Cleveland of what happens with Donovan Mitchell leading a team. If the shots are not falling, he ain't doing anything to get up the others the ball. If the shots are not falling, he ain't handling business defensively. If the shots are not falling, he ain't getting across half court. One of the dumbest plays I've ever seen in playoff basketball. And again, Toronto handled it well. They handled it well. They had a player come right at Mitchell with the 8-second violation. But how do you allow that to happen in a critical situation? How? That's one of the dumbest plays I've ever seen. How do you allow that to happen? Late in the game, Donovan is in his head. This is now a wall type situation. This is now a mental block. And it's a legacy killer if he can't figure it out. The Cavaliers did everything that Donovan wanted them to do. We utilized every other excuse in the book. We had the wrong head coach. All right, we'll get rid of the head coach. Darius Garland couldn't stay healthy. We'll trade for James Harden. We need other different players. The Cavaliers made those moves. Dan Gilbert made those moves. And the reward is to go 6 of 24. 4 of 12 from downtown. Honestly, the game wouldn't even have been that close if Sam Merrill wasn't in the game late in the contest. I'm at a loss of words. I'm literally at a loss of words for this Cavs team. I really am. And it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. And I hate to do this because I'm in this age range. We're going to talk next segment about a little bit more about same old, same Cavs. We're going to have a clip from Charles Barkley coming up next segment. But where's the mental toughness? Where is it? Where is the, all right, shots aren't falling. I understand. I get it. Shots are not falling. I'm going to do anything else I can to pull through and get W's in a tough environment. You're a superstar player and you shrank on the freaking road. Think about how that effing sounds. You're a superstar A-level player and you shrunk on the road in round 1. And I would scream that louder, but I have neighbors. And it's 12-something right now. It's 12:15. But if I did this broadcast outside, the entire city of Bedford would freaking hear me right now. That was embarrassing. I'm watching LeBron. I know they lost yesterday. I'm watching LeBron making clutch plays. And you're struggling against a team led by Scotty freaking Barnes. Words, right? What's new? We've seen this now for 3 or 4 years. What is new? I'm freaking sweating right now. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed right now to be a Cavs fan. I'm embarrassed. That was horse crap. I'm out of excuses. I'm going straight to the top. Donovan, you need to be better. Or else you will be traded. You could be the number 2 or the number 3 at Boston or in New York. Unreal. I hope it doesn't end this way. I hope I'm wrong. I think the series is over. I think Toronto's winning the series, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I'm a Cavs fan. But when we come back, what can you do when you have seen the same thing over and over and over again? A team that's not tough. It's April 28th, and we're going to have a stupid press conference this time next week saying, boy, we made great strides, great progress. Oh, the core four only played 12 games together. They need more time to gel. They're going to freaking be all at the Cleveland Clinic. What's there to gel? InsideEdgeNetwork.com, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. We got a lot of great stuff there. The team shop, the station shop is where you get phenomenal merch. Saw chat Brian earlier today with the Inside Edge Network polo. Different color polos you can get, cups. Get some. We got mugs like this. This is my work mug, but my Inside Edge mug is on the way. We'll get that going. You even have water bottles because cool down and stuff. Hoodies, shirts, a lot of great stuff. Same old from the Cavs. Will they ever get tough? They have 2, maybe 3 games to figure it out. We'll talk about that next. Anthony Alford here. This is Midnight Run. We're live and ready to go. I'm sure more fight than the freaking Cavs right now. It's freaking playoffs. We'll be Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good-smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit Dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Maybe the Cavaliers should have had W Energy while they were in Canada. What is up with the 1 o'clock and we can't win on Sunday afternoons? That's the other thing that pissed me off. How can you not win on Sunday afternoons? Do we have to send W Energy to the Cavaliers hotels? Unreal. I don't think we've won a Sunday afternoon game, hell, at this rate, of any freaking sport in like 3 years. I know, take out baseball. I'll take out the Guardians because they play at 1:30 on Sundays. We're going technicalities. But you know what happened? Like, get to the and then we'll get to the Charles Barkley thing in a little bit. Here's the craziest thing. Sunday is like the worst day. Sunday afternoon is the worst day to lose a game because you're feeling good from church. You're feeling good from a tailgate. You're feeling like there's inspiration, like you're in a great mood. You're about to take over the world. And then the game happens. And then that game. I mean, everything from 1 to 3:30 pissed me off. Everything. I don't know what was worse. The first half, I mean, the entire game. But then, I'm not really a fan of Ryan Ruocco. Jay Billis was putting me to sleep. The officiating, I will say this, the officiating was piss poor on Sunday. I will say that. I'm not giving excuses for the Cavs losing, but the officiating was piss poor. And what I don't understand either, in Major League Baseball, Eli confirmed this off screen. In Major League Baseball, if you're successful in 2 consecutive challenges, you get a third one, correct? I think you get a third one. The NBA, Cavaliers were successful with 2 challenges. Oh, that's great. You don't get a third. Whatever. But that's not why they lost. They lost the game because the players are lazy. I saw so many lazy passes, lazy bounce passes, the amount of turnovers that the Raptors were able to take advantage of. I mean, so many. I got freaking James Harden here. Might as well just throw this coffee at him. And then not getting back on freaking defense. Here's the ball. Out of here. It's freaking James Harden. Evan Mobley, half speed. Jared Allen might as well sat next to me and watched the game. Where the hell is he? Where has Jared Allen been this entire run in the playoffs? How many shows have we done on these airways? Oh, Jared Allen, 30 points, 40 points in a regular season. He's that dude. The Raptors who can't buy a basket. They can't buy a basket. When it comes to offensive basketball, the Raptors are in poverty. When it comes to offensive basketball, and they stuff the paint. Mobley can't do anything. Allen is non-existent, as always, at this time of the year. It's just nothing, garbage. Same story, different year. In fact, take a look at this. This is Charles Barkley. This is before the game. This is before Game 4. This is what Charles Barkley, courtesy of ESPN, TNT, True TV, had to say, and whatever other network he works for, had to say about the Cavs.
They have relaxed players. They have players. I've said the one thing, they don't have no killers. They're all really good players. But they don't have that one guy who's like a natural born killer, as I call it.
You call irritant as well? They don't have the irritant. So
they don't have an irritant. Like I always said, if you're gonna have a good team, you got to have a crazy dude. They don't have that.
Yeah.
But Mobley to me is the guy. He's Defensive Player of the Year. He should take the challenge. And you know how I feel about Jared Allen. He's one of the most talented big guys in the league, but he's just a really nice guy.
He's had no double-doubles in the series, 2 offensive rebounds in 80 minutes.
I told you, I love his game, but he's one of those guys who's just a really nice guy. If he had a motor, he'd be one of the best players in the NBA. But today, this game to me, I know what I'm going to get from Donovan and James. To me, the big guys, Kenny say, Barrett's a matchup. If you're the Defensive Player of the Year, you got to do like Rudy Gobert's doing, like, I'm the Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to go against the joke and do my thing. To me, it's got to be Evan Mobley. But Allen and Mobley got to play well today and going forward if Cleveland's going to get out of the East.
They were trash. Let me bring in Eli. Man, almost. I'm going to say something off the wall. You criticize me, it's fine.
You saying something off the wall?
I almost wish that like Draymond Green or Dylan Brooks was on this team. I just for the sheer factor of I need somebody that's just willing to go out there and whoop ass. Because we got a ton of nice guys. I'm sick of it. We get punked every year in the playoffs. It's like the Orlando series 2 years ago that had no business going 7 games. It's playing out exactly the same. Eli, I'm not even giving you a question. Give me something. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's not great, pal. Not good. We'll have coverage all week here on the Inside Edge Network, so make sure you follow the Inside Edge Net because we could see some fireworks by the end of the week. But, yeah, not great. James Harden just continually disappearing. It's starting to become a trend, which isn't a great thing. Jared Allen, I guess the lights got too bright, AA again. I don't know. I mean, I guess the lights got a little too bright. And then Evan Mobley, I mean, we're just having a discussion about how Scotty Barnes is having his catapult. I said it yesterday on Main Event. He is having his catapult into superstardom, and he's going to do it by way of the Cavaliers. So I just think it's a mess. It's truly a mess. Even if they win this series in 6, win the next 2, nobody feels confident going into a series against presumably Orlando at this point. But why would you feel confident going against a team that has a stronger front court? They're more physical. They have a superstar player already in Paulo Banchero. I think he's a superstar. He's just on the Orlando Magic, so nobody talks about him. But they have everything you're looking for. Franz Wagner is there. I mean, they have a lot of guys. Jalen Suggs. The Cavs are in some trouble, AA. And this feels like the end of a movie, and it's not a good movie, right? Good movie where it's like, the sun's setting and everybody's singing Kumbaya. Well, no. This is like, have you ever seen a bad horror movie?
Yeah.
Like when there's no good ending. Like you think they're running away. You ever seen Wrong Turn? Okay. So not to get crazy for a moment here, but it's like the ending of Wrong Turn. Like they're running away. They think they get away from the cannibals. And then all of a sudden they get them. And that's how the movie ends. This is how it feels for the Cavaliers. There is no good ending. Just when you think they're going to get to that Larry O'Brien trophy, some team like the Toronto Raptors snatches them back out of the first round. And we're going to have a different discussion about the Cavaliers. It's not really a matter of can they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's who's going to be playing shooting guard and point guard for our team next year. And Maybe who's playing, the front court. It's sad that we have literally went this way in a week because we were up 2-0 and everybody was talking, and myself included, about, dude, the Cavs really might make some noise. Everybody's clicking. Thank God that both games were at home, or they'd be down 0-2 going into, games 3 and 4, it seems like. I mean, I don't know what to make of this team anymore, Double A. I don't.
You almost need, thank you, Eli, you almost need Donovan to put up like at least 40. Like, you almost need a repeat. I know this is like impossible, but remember Game 5 of the 2016 finals? Of course you do. Everybody remembers. Game 5 of the 2016 finals. LeBron and Kyrie both scored 41 points apiece. You kind of need that from Donovan Mitchell and James Harden somehow, some way. 41 points apiece. Can you imagine the excitement of the city if you can get an easy win? And I'm going to take emotion out of this for 2 seconds, because when I look into, okay, what happens if this series does not turn our way? What do you do? What do you do with the Cavaliers? And I'm looking at this team. In order for the Cavs to compete against Toronto, they have to work extra hard in the front court. They have to do extra things. Like, in terms of the front court, almost every game they're undersized. So from that standpoint, which is crazy to say, because for a good chunk of the 2010s and the early 2020s, you wanted to have a undersized front court because you can do more things in the perimeter. But you're seeing now an undersized front court where Mobley has to do more. And that's why Evan Mobley will never be the unicorn that we all look for him to be. He'll be a great player, but he'll never be that superstar impact player that you're looking for in this league, as long as the game is going the way that it is. Size is in 2026. Size matters. I didn't stutter. Size matters in 2026 in the NBA. If you don't have the size, and the Cavs do not, you got to work twice as hard. And this team's lazy anyway, so they won't do it. And then you get knocked out. That's it. And Kenny Atkinson talked about it after a game 2 months ago. Hey, if we're lazy on defense, it's my fault. It's not Eli's fault. It's my fault. I should have called for that clip from 2 months ago. If we're not getting back on defense, if we're settling for shots, if we're not moving the ball, it's curtain calls. That's it. Forget about it. It's toast. Done. That's it. So that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. And we might have had the clip. I might have deleted it. But it was from like March or February. And Kenny Atkinson spotted it. I think it was against Orlando on a Tuesday night. We did the show after. Cavaliers have an interesting discussion they're going to need to have in the offseason. Because I don't think go after Giannis. Do what you need to do to go after him. Do your due diligence. You have to. You owe it. You have to do your due diligence. Go after Giannis and kick the tires on LeBron. Even though LeBron disrespected the city, kick the tires. Kind of have to. But if it doesn't happen, if you can't land either of those players, you're kind of in a Cleveland Guardians type situation. Let me explain. So Utah, ever since they traded away Donovan Mitchell, Utah's been in a rebuild ever since. Utah is still losing. The Cleveland Guardians, they never really have been able to do enough to get over the championship hump. Now, the Guardians made news today, which Eli and Chad talked about on primetime, like major news. Go back to watch primetime if they get into that. But the overall scope of the conversation is this. The Guardians always do just enough to compete and win the AL Central, right? So people go to the games. Throughout the year, you got a competitive team. People go to the games. You're happy about going to the regular season games. Ownership makes money. Get good ticket sales. Cool. And then you're happy about being in the playoffs. Playoffs doesn't end well, but hey, we made it. Wow, yay, great. Cavaliers may have to make a similar decision. This team's good enough to compete during the regular season. They're a great regular season team. They've always been a great regular season team. Anytime the Cavaliers are on the floor, they give you an opportunity to win each and every single night. That's not a problem. But if you do bottom out, you are doing that with the understanding that you do have to start from scratch. As a business, is Dan Gilbert willing to do that? Now, when Dan Gilbert was a little bit younger, post LeBron, cool, right? Dan Gilbert, who is a proven spender, is this something that he's willing to do now? Is he willing to bottom things out? I mean, you kind of have to with the way that the NBA operates. You kind of have to do those things to get back to the top. I mean, who knows? Adam Silver might screw up the draft lottery as well. So who knows how that's gonna turn out? But that's a tough decision to make. It is. Me personally, take the L. If this doesn't end well, if you can't win in a playoff season where in the next round you would face the 8th seed before you get to Boston, what are you going to do next year when Indiana's back in the picture with Tyrese Halliburton? What are you going to do next year when, I mean, it might be a year where Joel Embiid might be healthy. I mean, who knows? But what are you going to do when Orlando is in a better spot? And some of these other teams in the Eastern Conference is in a better spot. What are you going to do? If you're not pulling through here, it's now or never with this team. Game 5 will be telling. Eli Moon, Chad Bryant, and Kyle Cornell will have Game 5 Cavs post-game Wednesday night. Following the Cavs and Raptors, David Ruiz and Autumn Chisholm will have the Game 6 post-game show. And I believe Main Event will be on duty for the Game 7 post-game if necessary. I put that in our release. Didn't even think we had to utilize Game 7. But here we are. Remember to like and subscribe to the Inside Edge Network on our socials at Inside Edge Net. Like, subscribe, and follow. Get all of our updates and stuff, too. All of our shorts, all of our videos, all of our stuff. We have that for you at Inside Edge Net. Coming up next, here on Midnight Run. We'll shift gears a little bit. We got new details that just dropped on Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel we got to talk about. But coming up next, imagine posing as a different athlete and going to different sponsors and going to other companies and taking up to $20 million? That happened. The player who did that, he was found guilty. We'll play that story coming up next. This is Midnight Run. Anthony Alford here with you. One segment to go right here on the Inside Edge Network.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at mossermomentsphotography.com.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Welcome back to Midnight Run. Quick little note here for you. We have a new show sponsor here on the Midnight Run program. You hear Kyle and I talk about this sponsor all the time on the Side Hustle Wrestling podcast. Omega Video Marketing from our good friend Megan Gallagher. She does a phenomenal job getting your business out there, especially here in Northeast Ohio. That's what this is for. If you are looking to drive your content, if you're a business owner, business decision maker, or if you're hosting an event and you need the story to be told, Omega Video Marketing will have you covered. Led, of course, by Megan Gallagher, who does phenomenal work here in Northeast Ohio. 4-time Emmy Award winner, Megan Gallagher from Omega Video Marketing. So if you need that video marketing service, need that all taken care of, go to her email, meganrg440@gmail.com. That's meganrg440@gmail.com. The story we're going to get to right now, final segment of the show, we got a crazy Diana Rossini update coming up at the end, so you want to stay tuned for that. But this story's nuts that we're going to play here for you. So what if I told you that somebody schemed money from businesses, pretending to be Michael Penix Jr., Xavier McKinney, and former Cleveland Brown David Njoku?
Former University of Alabama football player Luther Davis pleaded guilty here in federal court in Atlanta today to impersonating NFL players as part of a nearly $20 million fraud scheme. Prosecutors say that Davis and another man pretended to either be representation for NFL players or pretended to be those players themselves in order to secure loans, then using that money to pay off other loans and buy things like jewelry and watches. Now, the court documents don't name the NFL players. They use initials, but one of those players is believed to be Atlanta Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr. And prosecutors say that Davis even at times used wigs and makeup when pretending to be those players. He pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. That first count carries up to 5 years in prison. The second one up to 2 years. The sentencing is going to be in October.
That was nuts. By the way, that was courtesy of 11 Alive News out in Atlanta. That was Galette Muhammad with the story. Craziness. So Luther Davis played for Alabama, I believe. Yeah, he was a national champion for Alabama. And CJ Evans, they posed as representatives of players, and they went on their Joanna Man scheme and dressed up as Michael Penix, David Njoku. They dressed up as these guys, and they basically went in and they schemed as much as, was it $19.8 million, basically $20 million. And those two used that money to pay off loans and fund their lifestyles. That is unbelievable. And it was uncovered. I'm looking at the article here. USA Today and ESPN has it. It was uncovered when a players' union learned the impersonated athlete's contract was used as collateral, and they were charged back in March. Now, the FBI is still investigating the case, but Davis is going to be sentenced on October 8th. That's the report that you heard just now. And they could face up to 7 years in prison. That's effing nuts. That is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, you got to think, too, just going in. I mean, Let me bring in Eli for this real quick. The ridiculousness of this story. You're talking makeup, wigs, full disguises, and if you're impersonating David Njoku or Michael Penix, you got to have their accent down. You got to have all of that. This is an unbelievable story.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. I just don't understand how somebody thinks they're gonna get away with this. Like, sure, maybe on the initial, like, you can get away with it, but eventually you're gonna get caught, right? And especially when you're dealing with quite a lump sum of money. This wasn't like they just, paid rent or two for, the mortgage payment. $20 million is quite a lot of money, and if I do say so myself. And that's a serious thing, Double A. I mean, that's pretty serious. When you brought this story to my attention, because I had no idea about it until you brought it to my attention, I just couldn't believe it, man. It felt like we were in like a Wayans Brothers movie where like they go into like the different stores and they take, I felt like we were in like a White Chicks makeover. Like, I mean, what?
That's
what
what
are we
it
doing?
is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's basically White Chicks. You go in, you like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is who we are. And like you're trying to convince businesses and stuff. I can't say good luck. And this was only discovered, I guess, because with the players union, you know what you're spending, right? Every player, like what's being spent. So they probably went to Michael Penix. It's like, dude, did you spend this amount of money? David Njoku, did you spend this amount of money? Something ain't added up. And I think too, when you have money, we're going to enter a part of the conversation neither of us can really relate to at this current moment. When you have money.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love you. All right, yeah, what's your question, buddy?
I'm trying to get to it. When you have money, sometimes you don't realize what's being spent. So, like, sometimes you just don't check it.
That's fair. I'm going to be honest. Every time Apple takes $1.99 from me, I know when that shit comes out. So I know when that comes out. So
can I say something about that real quick?
1,000%. This is your show. You definitely can.
No, that pisses me off because Apple doesn't tell you what is being charged.
Yeah, and then you check your subscriptions and you're like, bro, there's nothing for $1.99 besides my iCloud storage, but I swear I've been charged for iCloud storage 10 times this year.
I see random $1.99, $2.99, and you think like, oh, this is Apple. They know everything, which they do, but then they don't tell you what's being spent.
Yeah, secret squirrel.
And it's like, dude, I'm trying to budget for the month. Like paydays later in the week, I'm trying to budget. Okay, I have this much. You get I got all the expenses and stuff, and then some random ass Apple charge, and they don't even tell you where it's from. That bothers me.
Fair.
To go in.
Yeah, me too. Me too, pal.
It's unbelievable. Okay, we're not going to be able to get the image in because I think I have to like convert a file or something like that. It has come to my attention. I don't even know if this is like true or not. So David Cavinci on Twitter dropped the bomb about this Diana Rossetti, Mike Vrabel story. If you need any more bombshells of this story. So apparently, according to this Twitter account, back in 2022, December 19th, 2022, Diana Rossetti made a public playlist called Turning the Page. It's a shared playlist. It's 18 songs. It's a shared playlist, allegedly, with a guy named Mike. Now, you may think, you got to be kidding me. But then, go even further into this story real quick. December 19th, 2022. What exactly was happening during that time period? Let's just connect the dots. Let me go over here. Oh, here's some of the songs. Cuff It by Beyonce. There's a few Beyonce songs. Break My Soul by Beyonce. House Party by Sam Hunt. Raise Your Glass by Pink. It's a questionable playlist, but whatever. What was happening? Let's go back to 2022 and the Tennessee Titans schedule. Who was the head coach, by the way, of the Tennessee Titans in 2022? Some big guy named Mike Vrabel. So on December 19th, 2022, the Tennessee Titans has just lost their fourth consecutive game. They started their season 7-3, and I believe they bottomed out and missed the playoffs. And this shared playlist between Diana Russini and some guy named Mike literally is called Turning the Page, because Mike Vrabel, I believe, was out of Tennessee after that particular season. Here's the end result. We listen. At this point, just go out. You might have to just say that you guys are together. At this point, you just got to make it public. You just have to. I mean, it's not. It's been an open secret all this time. The amount of gatekeeping, by the way, and this is, and ultimately at the end of all this, I know we got to wrap. At the end of all this, the whole like, oh, we got to trust our insiders to be journalists. No, not anymore. No, even like Jay Glazer is day drinking with 28 other NFL head coaches. Okay, Diana Russini's having a party with Mike Vrabel across the street. You're day drinking with other head coaches. There is no lick of journalistic integrity drinking with other head coaches. None. But all of this is a work. It's all a scheme. All of this is a work. All of it. All of this is a work. Let's stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. That's like buying into what you hear on cable news. All of it is a work. It's you believe what you want to believe, and that's it. You know, like I love like cable news goes after, you know, this party goes after that party or whatever. Great, but you have a correspondence dinner. Ha ha! Everyone looks happy. I'm not making light of what happened and the news part of what happened, but come on now. I promise tomorrow, I think we'll have a more positive show. I promise. I believe we'll have a more positive show. Remember to like and subscribe to the Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net on all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We also have a Twitch channel. You can you can subscribe there too. Follow us there as well. At Inside Edge Net, and of course InsideEdgeNetwork.com, where all of our stuff is located. Tomorrow, I said we would have a more positive show, but tomorrow's Picture Boys and Tuesday. Oh, also tomorrow, Autumn will be on the show because Klay Thompson's been dragged through the mud with Megan Thee Stallion. We're going to get expert analysis on that particular conversation. I keep seeing people saying, what has Klay Thompson done? He's done nothing like it. Oh boy. So Autumn will be on the show tomorrow. Remember, the night starts with Inside Edge Primetime Major Network Program announcement with the Inside Edge Network coming up tomorrow with Eli Moon and Chad Bryant relating to the network. So they'll get your night started at 2 o'clock. It will be on at midnight right here. Also, Eli, Conversations with Eli Moon. Is that tomorrow? That happened? That is. 7:30 Tuesday night tomorrow. So, all right. Got my thoughts out on the Cavs. I guess the lesson of the day. I don't have any more lessons. Don't name playlist after your side, please. Good night, everybody.